I mean, it was incredible. I think when I took the job, everyone believed how good USC could be. But I don't know that everyone was so sold on women's basketball in LA being able to sell out or being the talk of the town. And so that was a really cool byproduct, I think, of where women's basketball is and the success that both programs had. And we're really excited about that.
That success obviously expanded well beyond LA. It was nationwide last year as I think women's college basketball reached a popularity point that it had never had before. How does that continue?
Oh, I mean, I think it's only going to grow. I think obviously Caitlin Clark was such a galvanizing point, but people come for her and stay for all the other incredible things they see with women's basketball. We didn't just get good. I think they just put us on major networks recently. So, you know, I get text messages from NBA players about JuJu and how much they like watching her. I think you know, the game continues to grow. The matchups are going to be incredible. The Big Ten Conference is loaded. You know, while Caitlin was really cool to bring new eyes, I actually think it's going to catapult us forward, and there's a lot of people ready to take over that torch of exciting stuff.
And certainly while Caitlin came in as a really good player, she didn't really have the freshman kind of year that JuJu had. She really exploded in her last few years on campus. What makes a player like JuJu able, not just her ability-wise, but to play with those expectations as young as she really is?
Well, it's interesting you say that. We were at the Wooden Awards with Caitlin and with Coach Bluter, and I said, can we pick your brain on kind of what to expect? And Caitlin's the one who said, she's got 3 more years of this. I only had her for 1.5 years, 2 years. JuJu is spectacular in a lot of ways. I think not least of which is her grace and her ability to handle the expectations and handle what's thrown at her and continue to exceed them. I think that's what I've been most just sort of awed by. I think a lot of things. Number one, she's got a great circle around her, small, tight-knit. Her family is incredible. I think they've sort of set her up for success in that way. She's built differently, I mean, physically and sort of just emotionally. Her physical stature, I think that's what WNBA people remark on. Like, she's got a body that's physically ready, 6'2", athletic, body control. So I think when she came into college basketball, she was able to see success early because the transition wasn't as physically daunting as it is for some people. But then emotionally and mentally, she's a winner. She's an incredible teammate. Her ability to kind of stay steady when, like, LeBron's watching the game, or I'm like, oh my gosh, or, you know, this star came to see her, that she just, I think, keeps the main thing, focuses on doing her thing out there, and it's really, that's how she's so unique. You just know that she's sort of different because she's emotionally stays very grounded.
Are there times as a coach where you feel like you do have to help her manage, or that you think you will have to in the future as she becomes more and more, with Caitlin's departure, the face of women's college basketball? I
mean, I think with everything you go into, at least my philosophy is we have to be intentional. We have to try to look forward and not be reactionary. We want to be proactive. Number one thing, and I talk about this with JuJu and with her parents a lot, is I just want to keep her happy, right? Like, in terms of she's 18 years old, and I want to make sure that she still has joy, that she's still doing the things she likes while she's taking on all of this stuff. A lot of it's really cool what she's getting to do, and at the same time we want to make sure that it's not overwhelming, but it's more just conversation, setting her up, you know, to be successful, checking in with her, making sure she has time for herself and time to sleep and relax, as well as go do her, you know, Nike shoot or the things she has to do. But she makes it easy because she's really communicative with me and just, like I said, very naturally gracious with all of it.
You started at the top of the interview discussing the expectations and what they were when you arrived and how they're probably a lot different right now. So as a head coach, as a program, how do you continue to adjust as those expectations change year by year following more and more success?
Yeah, I mean, that's a fun project for me this summer, right? To figure it out, because last year we were picked 6th in our own conference. We had very much a don't pick us, you know, underdog mentality the whole time, and it really worked for us. We felt like we had to prove ourselves at every turn to people who didn't expect us to be good. We were able to be loose in that sense, and now that's not going to be the narrative going in. And that's okay, and we all have to evolve. I think my job is to figure out how to get the collection of talent we have and push the right buttons to make sure that we're handling expectations and raising the bar without playing with the weight of the world on our shoulders. And so, you know, I certainly will tap into people I trust and lean on people to get as much information as I can, and then I have to have a feel of the group and be able to push the right buttons and keep raising that bar.
I know you're worried about you first and foremost as a team, as a program, but how does the move from the Pac-12 to the Big Ten most likely affect the way your program operates?
I mean, I think it's a nationwide now, coast-to-coast exposure. I think, we did some incredible things in the Pac-12. It was a wonderful conference to be a part of, but exposure now is going to go leaps and bounds. So I think we have an incredible opportunity with where women's basketball is to sort of be at the forefront of that, at the crux of it in this league. We can benefit by opportunities for the players. We can benefit for how they can benefit from that in a lot of different ways. It's a responsibility to make sure that we're proactively planning travel and what that looks like, and just making sure we're intentional about the opportunities they get, maximizing the experience. I'm like, bring it on. This is a crazy new world for women's basketball that we've been fighting for and working towards, and so now let's try to maximize it as much as we can.
How collaborative will the project have to be between the schools, between the conference, to make sure that schedule is realistic? Because you're in an 18-team league, there are going to be rivalries and non-conference play that you want to be able to protect, and obviously that non-conference strength of schedule, always important when March comes around. How does it all go in the blender and come out to be something that we actually want to ingest?
I mean, one thing I've been super impressed with already is that the league has incredible thought partners. Like, I've been on the phone with the leadership of, what does it look like travel-wise? How do we maximize, great games and TV windows? And I think they've been very strategic. I mean, the distances are what they are, but I think it's going to find a rhythm, not that dissimilar to the Pac-12, where when you're on a road weekend, it's a road weekend. It's a little bit further, but not crazy amounts, and they're going to be smart about not sending you to Rutgers one weekend and then to Penn State, right? I think they're being as strategic as they can. Incredible partnerships across the league. They've been really, really welcoming. I think they really want the LA schools to have a good experience, and so there's a lot of strategy around making it as seamless as possible.